Welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody's healthy and your family's healthy during these crazy times. And anyway, today I want to have you join me on a video I did on several touch and goes, where my goal was to keep the nose gear off the ground all the way throughout the rollout, as soon as I landed and all the way through rollout. I did five actually, with a slight left crosswind. I did them on runway 04. I wanted to do more crosswinds on 3-1. However, there was a student pilot who was doing his first solo that day and did several touch and goes, so we had to mesh in. We did most of the landings on 4. It worked out just perfectly fine. So the key to doing these landings and keeping the nose gear off is, of course, as I've said in a previous video, keep your speed on final nailed as well as your aim point, and that will help you significantly getting landing and not bouncing or wheel bearing or whatever else things may happen. I was at the weight I should have been maybe doing 71 or 72 knots on final. I actually did 74 or so. That worked out. I had a good headwind. The wind was from 0 to 0 at 8. Landing on 4, worked out fine. On the crosswind, I kept a little extra speed, so I was at 75. So it worked out just perfectly. So the key is keep your airspeed and aim point. Throttle back gradually as you're coming over the threshold. Of course, land on the mains. As soon as you get down on the mains, a little tug on the nose, on the yoke, will keep the nose gear from wanting to come down on the ground, because there's a fair amount of momentum and the nose is a little bit heavier in this. So a little tug will keep the nose gear. You will continue having elevator control all the way through, slowing down about 35 to 40 knots. So as you're starting to slow down, ease in a little power and keep the power just right to be able to keep your nose off the ground at the attitude you want it to. And once you've rolled out sufficiently, add more power and take off. Right after landing, I immediately go from 33-degree flaps to 10-degree flaps, so I don't have to worry about those once I'm taking off. So I have the correct flap setting for takeoff in it. And I don't touch the rudder trim. There's a lot of things to touch, so to keep the nose off the ground and just straight, you have to play with your rudders, and it's good exercise for rudder control as well, especially when you're doing a crosswind landing, which on 3-1, so that really is quite useful. As you're taking off, you'll find there's a lot of pitch up forces, because you landed with the nose fairly high up in the trim. So as soon as you're taking off, you got to start pushing on the yoke and using the electric trim to get the nose down and pitch down. Once you're okay, then you can stop doing that. Gear up, flaps up, and off again to do another one. And I had a good time. Anyway, I try to do all my landings like that. Of course, if you do a short field landing, you got to change it so that you get your nose gear down a little faster and do dynamic braking and put the brakes on appropriately. I want you to grade my landings. I don't mind any criticism or comments or suggestions you may have. I welcome those, and I just want you to go up and fly with me and have a good time. See you up in the air.
Turn to Indiana traffic, Cessna 152 Delta Mike, turning left downwind 4, full stop, for Indiana. Indiana Beach traffic, 2405 Charlie Papa, 45-degree left downwind 04. Touch and go. Alright, gears coming down. Down and locked. Low down to 75. Let's put the speed brakes back in, because I got a headwind. 75. A little bit less. Five Charlie Papa, short final 04. Gears up. Flaps are up. Mooney 495 Charlie Papa, turning short final 31 Fernandina, touch and go.